So, a double Smolensk division from SURCA, Daring and Kleber from Yuzu, 1, 2, 3, 4 radars from Yuzu, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 radars from that. Wait a second, oh, okay, that's why I'm missing it. Yuzu have taken 3 destroyers. That is unusual, but there are 3 control points on this map. Problem is, there are 5 radar sets to go around, so let's see what happens. So in fact, there are 7 radar sets on SURCA because both the small ones have radars as well, and I suspect we're going to see Astaroth and Asprey wolf packing and staying together, just turning this into a series of 2-on-1 murder fests. At least that's how I play it. Question is, how are they going to play it? Looks like they're splitting up. Asprey making a run for point B, and Astaroth moving out to point C, with Moskva and the Des Moines of Master Joris and Eskerman backing him up. Relatively little heavy support to start with, although the Ohio and the Thunderer are having to cross each other's paths in order to get positioned. So it looks like the ORCA and SURCA forces over at point C are going to be Smaland, Moskva, Des Moines, and Thunderer, with the southwestern force consisting of Stalingrad, Ohio, and 2 Des Moines. Interestingly, no destroyer deployment into point A from the SURCA forces. Over on Yuzu, however, they've got the Daring and the Stalingrad leading the charge into point A, and you're going to see XXX stopping out here, because that will let him get something of a radar block into point B, although I don't think he's quite got the range to stop the Smolensk rather. And no, I don't know, 11-3, 11-4, 12-2, 12-3. There's only about 800 meters in it, but Apze is clear of GDK's radar sweep, so he is going to finish that cap unmolested. Double team from Hachama and Nekros CNZ there. The Kleber and the Gearing working together. I'll admit, I was expecting to see the 2 Smolensk wolf packing. I was not expecting to see the Yuzu destroyers wolf packing like this. So Astaroth is going to see the Kleber coming, but the Gearing will be a rather nasty surprise for him. So exchange of torpedoes. Astaroth's running short, and Hakama's probably don't have the range to really cause much of a threat. In fact, those are the Gearing's torpedoes, so they're good out to about 16 kilometers. They might be a threat, but they are largely speculative and designed to pretty much disrupt Astaroth's cruiser support, if there is any. Astaroth just fighting clear. Hakama's in the cap. Nekros is about to enter, of course. The Kleber was probably spotted comfortably. Let's just take a quick look at Team Bravo's perspective. Interesting. Astaroth does not have visual on Hakama. So point C goes to Yuzu. Point B, of course, went to SURCA sometime earlier. All right, let's see how things start to shake out, because point B is deserted. We're seeing a very definite split from both teams. There is a no man's land in the middle here, and 2 almost entirely separate fights shaping up. One at point C, one at point A. I think, however, Lanubi might have pushed a bit too far forward. And yeah, he's realized it as well. He's backing up. 18 inches coming from the Kremlin, but he bounces the worst of it. He is down 12,000 health and burning, however. And, well, that's Des Moines high explosive coming in. So it's going to be raining shells for the next few seconds for Lanubi as he backs out of the way. I don't think they can see Dolcat. They can see GDK, however. So again, if we drop back to Team Bravo's perspective, in fact, they have completely lost contact with the Yuzu forces. So a lot of that fire is going to be speculative. Meanwhile, over on the other side, both teams are in fact more or less stealth. In fact, Master Joris is currently the only person that either side can see. Point C is locked. Astaroth and Necros are about to run into each other. Let's see who gets the first nuke. Okay, so nothing yet for Necros. Nothing yet for Astaroth. They both know the other is there, of course, and I suspect it's going to be... Yep, there's the radar. Immediate gunfire from Necros. Astaroth goes in, but I don't know. Let's see how this goes. The Des Moines is backing up on Astaroth as well, so that's not the best thing. However, Eskerman has started opening fire on Miratoa. So, Mira was just showing enough sign to take some early hits there. And in fact, the two Des Moines are now in a slugging match. They've more or less forgotten their respective destroyers. Necros is breaking, but Astaroth got forced out of Point C on his turn. So as a consequence, Point C is going to be scoring for the next few seconds. And sneaky, not that's a term I ever thought I'd apply to a Kleber, but Hakama has sidled into Point B and is quietly flipping it. That is going to give Yuzu a bit of a score edge as they continue to do it. However, Astaroth is starting to flip Point C. Necros is backing up hard, however, he hasn't quite broken contact, and Miratoa has also been forced to back off as well, with Eskerman throwing volley after volley of high explosive and getting a quick fire going. However, they break contact, and now the heavies are starting to come up. So, Dispot 222 has arrived on the scene with the Ohio's big guns, and it looks like he's got some things to say about that Moskva over there. Point C flips over to the control of SURCA. So, still one control point each way. The small end of Astaroth taking some hits as he pegs it out of the cap to break contact. Meanwhile, down in Point A, the control point's about to flip. Dolcat is taking significant fire. Asprey got into the control point and turned it for SURCA, and he has also, I suspect, brought enough radar to the party that Dolcat is reduced to legging it as hard as he can. Let's just go to Team Bravo's perspective for a second. Dolcat hasn't broken contact yet. There he goes. So Dolcat breaks contact, as does the rest of the Yuzu forces here, although it should be noted that GDK isn't exactly in a boat that can disappear anytime soon, so there are going to be a couple of speculative broadsides that might still make contact. Dolcat swings around, starts trying to work his way back into Point A. Newbie 50 FTR still in a very solid block position until Shariasi comes round the corner. There's very little that Yuzu can do to dislodge that Stalingrad. Of course, the moment Shariasi tries to come around the corner, he's going to run right into the forward guns of two Des Moines. And even with the quick damage control of a Kremlin, there are so many 8-inch high-X shells coming his way that he is going to take significant fire damage. Skytech backing up a little. He's just tasted 18-inch shell and probably doesn't want another helping. And on the Pelshoko, nicely defilated there. Forward guns only, and just throwing the artillery. That is absolute precision positioning from him there. Another yard back and the B turret would be occluded. Another few yards forward, and he will be showing broadside, if highly angled, to Shari. So Skytech, probably a little bit envious, but Shari has got problems of his own, mostly thanks to the fact that he's got 12 volley. Mostly thanks to the fact that he's got 12 8-inch high-X shells coming around his head every 5 or 6 seconds, and the Ohio has just jumped into the fight as well. Sirith 33 providing the heavy fire there. Meanwhile, we have another sneaky cap in Point B as Poe tiptoes his way back into Point B. The Kleber of Hakama swung forward into C in an effort to provide some backup there, with the end consequence being that it's still, well, 2 control points to 1 in SURCA's favour. However, both teams are content to dig in, and again, we're seeing some fairly precise position here. Miratoa has moved back up to his island. He has got the forward guns going, and Dispot is, by the looks of it, about to try bullying his way round that corner. However, he goes broadside to the Thunderer, takes a chunk of damage from Jesuit 13's 18-inch guns, is under high X barrage from Eskerman's 8 inches as well, and he's not controlling that fire. Ohio Delendrest? Well, we'll see. Eskerman takes a big hit in return from I think that was the Ohio's 18 inches. However, the Thunderer fires another broadside. Most of it hits the bow plating. Yuzu taking crossfire as well from the Monster. I think Master Joris might have been a little annoyed about that 18-inch salvo earlier. 18-inch guns out from the Ohio. Is that going to finish Eskerman? Shells down. Yes, it is. Straight through the bow. Takes a hit, and the Des Moines is toast. So that removes the fire starting threat, but Dispot still has the Thunderer to worry about, and he is down to less than 13,000 health. Torpedoes go past Mirai Tora for no effect and continue running off, but, well, they're out of our story and we don't particularly care about them. Dispot breaks away, keeps his stern reasonably angled, but that Thunderer's going 18-inch rounds. It might not be much to put the Ohio down. Repair party in play from Dispot, back up past 10,000 health. Ohio looking for a shot. The Thunderer, however, has slammed into the map border and then eaten torpedoes. 31,000 health there. Jesuit trying to back off, I think. And it's hard to tell. I don't know if he's... No, he's still at forward power. Look at the way he's drifting as he starts turning off the map border. Gets his shots away, however. He was more concerned to get shots out onto the Ohio than pull himself off the map border. Exchange of fire with Dispot. Shells down to Dispot. Minimal effect, no fire. Return fire comes down onto the Thunderer. 8,000 damage. And the Thunderer is now burning in at least one place, maybe two, if he hasn't got fire prevention. Asprey goes down in Smolensk. The Hakama goes down in the Kleber. The duel to the northeast is stalemating. However, the southwest might be about to resolve itself. Center ground has gone to Yuzu, taking point B back again. And Jesuit now in serious trouble. The gearing of Necros is engaging Astaroth in Smolensk. And with that spotting, it might be enough. However, they're going to lose Necros. The Smolensk's 120mm guns dishing out an absolute beating. But can Astaroth break contact? Thunderer goes down. Necros's torpedoes doing the job. The Ohio eliminates Astaroth, taking out the second Smolensk. So SURCA now have no destroyers remaining on the field. They do, however, have this tight cluster of ships in the southwest. So GDK goes down, SURCA taking out the blocking Stalingrad there, but there's not much they can do to capitalize on Yuzu's loss of their Stalingrad, while their own ships are pinned at the south here by the Kremlin and the Des Moines of Shirasi and Yukinoa. And of course, if they do then shove forward anyway, as Nubi is thinking about, you can just see him nosing forward a little. The Dolcat has dumped a salvo of torpedoes just to discourage any ideas he might be getting about running forward. So here is the key point. At this point, what SURCA have to do is stage a breakout to the north. Master Joris is pinning down Mirai Tora as best he can, but both of them will be swapping high X, and I don't know, the Ohio is probably about to end Master Joris. Shells come in, Joris turns to evade, takes one high X on the superstructure, in comes the second salvo, takes another on the bow, which starts a fire. Is Mirai Tora? No, I think Mirai Tora has gone dark. Let's check the view from Point Bravo. Yep. Dispot's quite content to take the hits. Mirai Tora conserving his health and just playing spotter briefly, while Cherish Important has clearly decided to get himself some blood. Cherish comes barreling around the corner. Stern battery goes into the cliffs. Forward battery goes forward. Gets away with showing an alarming degree of broadside there, but takes a long-range shot from Nubi FR in the process. However, the blocking thing goes. Master Joris goes down. So Yuzu now have the run of the northern half of the map. Nubi Furter has managed to make his turn and is coming around the corner, but Dolcat is waiting, and he's got to get rid of Cherish Important first. I don't think Nope Cherish is going to make the cover before that happens, and will probably stop to make repairs at that stage. Sirith33, also realizing the danger, has started the breakout to the northeast as well, leaving the two Des Moines of Skytech and Mapel, who in fairness can't really go anywhere until they've disposed of Shari-Rassi in the Kremlin. Not that stopping Skytech risking going over the top, figuring that if he can make enough easterly progress, he can get out from under Shari's 18-inch guns. But now he's turning west again, trying to keep his own guns in play. I wonder if that's the right play, if he might not be better off making that break to the northeast. Point B locked. The Stalingrad of Nubi fighter is in the control point. Yuzu are 1 minute 45 away from a win at this stage. Suri have absolutely got to make kills, or rather SURCA to be more accurate. But at this point, with Cherish defilated and making repairs, Mirai also barreling for a control point, they've got two options really. The first is to risk charging around this corner and taking out Dolcat, but Dolcat has his torpedoes ready to go. The moment he sees Nubi make a move, he is going to drop torpedoes, and that, at worst case, will turn into an exchange of ships and do little to prevent the situation. Wait a second, torpedo launch, double launch from Dolcat, who then stands on forward fire. He's launched those at Sirith33. The Des Moines are trying to charge on the Kremlin, but they're never going to finish Shari-Rassi in the 50 seconds they've got left. Sirith barrels in. Point B is flipping, but it's not going to make a difference. Radar up. Dolcat is spotted. Has Sirith got guns ready to go? I don't think so. And he's in the box for the torpedoes. Shells out. However, 1, 2, 3 impacts. Not enough to sink the Ohio, but it may not matter. Dolcat goes down. Timer resets. 1 minute 57. Nubi FTR taking massive hits as Mirai Toru goes for the log. Mirai gets the kill, and that is it. Win to Yuzu. It almost for a second looked there like SURCA were going to come back, but sadly it was not to be. And SURCA go down to their first loss of the tournament. So their clean sheet is no longer that clean. Unfortunate, but well, we'll see what effect that has on Group 5.